what up, well, DJ on the mag, what, coming in with some new gameplay for your retinas, and we are mixing up with a bit of Ragnaloard gameplay for you, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been low-key cooking in the lab like Breaking Bad, and I like Ragnaloard. I just wish, you know, I had the cards to actually pilot the deck, but I do have the cards now, so it's all good right here. So starting off with the opposition, going into the level 4 as standard, which obviously for us, we do have actual line to go to our top end, which is great stuff right here. So we're going off with the Ludemon in the back. And I'm going to just give you a bit of a warning here, guys. I'm going to slightly butcher half of these Digimon's names. For real, for real. So please have a little bit of grace. You know, nigga trying. For real, for real. So I climb all the way up into my level 5, which this level 5 is pretty powerful in regards to its effects. Even if you just do the main effect, it can trigger essentially a taunt, which is going to be fantastic for us. But it's inheritable, enables us to kind of be sticky and trash one of our sources to stay on the field. It is a once per turn, but that once per turn comes in clutch for a boy. So we do have the Doru Greymon setting up beautifully. Obviously not the restricted version, because you know that card got restricted for a reason, and thank God that additional secure attack is not the wave. But then we go with Kodo Domodo up in here with that reveal 4 magic, and does get the Orayumon, which is going to be great for him to be aggressive and obviously get those suspends when he goes into Alphamon, which is always a worry for what I want to be doing. But he has given me 4 memory, which I'm going to just sack off my Ludemon, who does not have an inheritable. So I'm like, well, you know what, that's just literally 3 memory. And this is what I do like about the egg, is that I don't feel bad if I have to, like, you know, just go in with a Ludemon without an inherit, because I can just get him back. I can obviously play him out to get a search if I want to, and, you know, just gain the memory off that. So it's all happy days. But I do go into my level 6. With the level 6 is going to be handy for us to effectively start, you know, really applying that bit of pressure. And for us, I do have the BT3 Ragnaloard, which this card, still to this day, is an absolutely solid level 7 option. Because the thing with this is the fact that I'm able to just tuck either a Bright Ludron or the other level 6 and gain 3 memory. So it just cost me a damn thing. And obviously I'm going to go with those juicy inheritables to do the nice cheeky 2 checks on my boy, which is really strong. Obviously with this as well, I'm able to get a glorious reboot. But I have used the Start Deck Ludemon. The reason why I do like this card is just it is a good kind of turn finisher. I can obviously just play out, tuck underneath, and then play. If I reveal a 7 play cost or lower Legend Arms Digimon, I'm able to just play it for free, which is beautiful. And depending on which one I get, I can obviously just kind of tuck it under if I want to, which I have done right here, which then enables me to have blocker being quite crucial, because obviously my inheritals that I had, I didn't necessarily have blocker before, but now I do, and I have a reboot. So I am stacked with the inheritables. You know, I'm looking glorious. Ragnaloard, I'm ready. He's just out on field, and he's ready to cleave the boys down. But the opponent does go in with the BT-15 Alphamon. This is a little bit of a menace here, because this Alphamon stops me from attacking the player. Doesn't necessarily stop me from attacking Digimon, which would be quite nice, but it kind of gets around, and definitely, if I correct me if I'm wrong here, is that it kind of gets around Raid, because Raid I have to declare an attack on the player before I can actually initiate the raid. So he's absolutely put a pause on my ass in order for me to do anything in regards to actually pushing damage here. So as standard, I kind of got a raise in the back with the Ludemon. No inheritable source right here, because I'm keeping my actual other Ludemon as a good turn finisher, which is always great. If I can top deck something to kind of build out my board, it's always the value. If I can cheat out a level 5, winning. I am winning so hard right here. But I'm like, what do I want to do? How do I want to finish this up? We've got Alphamon staring me out, which ain't great. It's not great at all. But I think it has to be, like I say, the Start Deck Ludemon. I can tuck. Yes, sir. Get underneath mid-chief. Obviously gives me that blocker. And then I'm able to play out my level 4, which is obviously going to give me that nice bit of board presence, whilst I've still got a level 4 in the back, which is hella sexy right here. Check them inheritables, stacked for days. Obviously, the opposition's Alphamon's got 8 sources underneath. Brother is sourced up to the 9, so it's a stack on stack violence. You know, who's got that big D energy right here, and unfortunately he's winning because he got 8. He got 8 inches on my ass, which is not fire at all. But he is starting off at 3 because obviously the memory setter here does raise in the back and then goes into the Alphamon or Ryukin mode, which, because I have the Ragnaloardmon with the inherit, it would try and delete the highest level, but unfortunately I'm immune to Digimon effects, which that start deck Ragnaloardmon is huge in this matchup right here, because also my level 4 is still looking pretty comfy there. You know, boy's ready for action. He's like, yeah, cheers, bruh. And Ragnar will be like, I got you, which I appreciate. But the thing, obviously, you can see here is that this Alphamon Ryukin has got 9 sources. Can also stack from the end of turn from the BT13 Doru Grey, another inheritable here, which enables, obviously, the Ryukin mode to return up to 7 sources, which are not obviously the egg, to regain back up to 7 memory, which is massive. And you're gonna see here, this boy pulls it all back. He like, let me get that invested in my bank account right now. I'm like, took it back, because obviously the opponent is currently at 23 cards in the deck, but not a problem. That brother ain't taken out. Not taken out before me, for real, for real. And it's just going to be a massive boon for the opposition, because the opposition could essentially, you know, execute and extend their plays even further. So straight back up to 5 memory, which is a lot of memory in order for them to kind of pop off. And I'm kind of interested to see the direction of what Alphamon goes in, what Alphamon turns out to be when actually going into 2.5 format, because obviously we do have some new tools that can effectively work or take Alphamon in a different direction, because I still value this Alphamon's direction, that, you know, once it gets going, it is clapping through your ends. But right now it is pretty much a slightly reserved, and this list is interesting. It is interesting, a bit unconventional, but I respect it. So we do go with the Durugamon. Wow, suddenly think I've like just suddenly learned English. And then what this is going to enable this boy right here is that it's going to be obviously tucking the source, and then from my knowledge, it does get the draw or discard. I'm trying to remember if this has collision or not. Maybe it doesn't, but the end of turn goes off from the BT13, and then he claims back turn once more. My god, honestly, BT7 or BT, yeah, it is BT7, maybe BT9 Dorumon is just so clutch. I swear it's BT7, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's putting in work. Go with the scramble, then we've got the Greymon out on blast. So I'm obviously going to push out. The thing I'm obviously going to trigger is both of my eggs, which are going to push me up to 3 memory. 3 memory is pretty gorgeous in this particular instance, because it means that I can effectively go into a level 5 if I want to, being the thing. So I'm just going to return my starter deck Ludamon, because like I say, it is the perfect kind of end turn card that I always like to use in order to kind of build out my board. But the thing that I'm thinking here is, like, I need to get rid of Alphamon. Alphamon be doing too much. The boy be doing too much. It's about time Ragnar be like, time to engage. Power up. He's locked in right now. He's going for some big cleaves on the boy. Got that pace in the standard and just cleaving through that security, which is fantastic for us. So here I'm thinking, right, I'm kind of in the driver's seat. You know, brother's got it's got 1 level 4 and 1 level 5. It does have a scramble, which is fine. It's not necessarily doing too much. But I'm going to go with the Spartamon. I'm going to get that nice little bit of additional draw, because I can't actually evo into a level 5, unfortunately, because I don't have any. And if I wanted to do a Garnet boost, it just wouldn't necessarily be beneficial, because I'd just be passing turn. So it's just is not the wave. So I'm like, right, well, might as well just apply that pressure. And then we do trip into the option, which does do the reveals and enable the opponent to essentially tuck a Doraemon or into the source, which look enough for us, that's not an alternate effect. So effectively can't, reduce the memory. So as standard, we go for the starter deck Ludamon, and we just got to tuck it underneath our boy as we go, because like I say, depending on what we reveal, we can actually build our board a little bit wider. And look at this, we absolutely go in with a level 5, which is so nice. So I've literally, my board's like, I'm 3 widened right now. Obviously, we do have the BT3 Ragnaloard, which is going to give us a juicy reboot. So we got 2 blockers out on deck, which is going to be very helpful for us to somewhat prevent those swings from happening. Because we do have to remember, we do have to respect that there is Alphamon or Ukame, which can do multiple swings. But the opponent goes into the BT13 Alphamon, which is going to just stop me swinging into the player. So that kind of puts a bit of a hard pause, but the play cost has to be 10 or higher. So I've got 2 Digimon that are actually below that. So brother needs to either have a Congo to really narrow that range, but he does go in with the swing, which then we do have the collision, so I have to block it. But I'm just going to block with the level 5, which I freshly pulled out, because I don't want him to get rid of my my level 4. I mean, brother's not done anything. He's chilling out. Leave him alone. But that obviously initiates the Evo into the Dex version of the level 4, which right here is effectively gives the opponent the opportunity to discard one of the Digimon, and then from memory should be able to pop my level 4. But let's see if my memory serves me right, because I mean the computers, the sim's kind of taking a while in terms of the decision, keeping me in suspense of what's going to happen, and maybe it does not. Maybe I am calling bullshit. But yeah, I'm calling you bullshit right now. I completely got that wrong. I swear blind that delete level 4. That might be the other. That might be the old one actually. Apologize. So beautifully, the opponent is trying to keep turn, but I can still swing with my 2 Digimon that meet underneath the 10 play cost, and the opponent gave up. But guys, what do you think? Ragnaloard, like I say, is always one of those decks I've always wanted to try, always wanted to pilot. I remember actually doing a profile way back when, and actually tried to pilot this years back at locals, and I got absolutely stomped. I got my ass beat. But it's really good that the overall support that's kind of going on now is nice, and I feel like it's in a good direction that Ragnaloard is solid. I think compared to the other meta decks that we have currently, it can be a little bit slow, but the main thing with Ragnaloard is that if you set up earlier than the opponent, you're pretty much eating. You are eating. It's very hard to get rid of him. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think to Ragnaloard. Where do you think he kind of plays in the meta? Do you think it's a good deck, or do you think it's just hot ass? But guys, stay safe, stay fly, and I'll catch you next one. That's your boy D Dread, off the mic.